Hey, what's going on guys, it's Gizmodic here and this is my full review of the Asus Zenfone Zoom. The Zenfone Zoom, if you don't know, is basically the Zenfone 2 except for that huge camera lens at the back. It is priced at around 38,000 rupees in India, which is quite high, but is it worth it? Let's find out. In terms of design and build quality, the Zenfone Zoom sports an aluminium unibody frame which gives it a very substantial and premium feel in the hand. The back of the phone has a leather finish and it's also removable, giving you access to the micro SIM card and the micro SD card slot. The front of the phone sports a 5 megapixel front facing camera, followed by a 5.5-inch 1080p display along with 3 capacitive buttons for back, home and multitasking. Unlike the Zenfone 2, where the power button was at the top and the volume buttons were at the back, the Zenfone Zoom follows the side-mounted button placement, which I like better. The volume button also doubles up as the optical zoom control, and since this phone is all about that camera, we have a dedicated 2-stage camera key along with a small red button to record video. The back of the phone houses the camera sensor, which is the USP of this phone, along with a speaker and some Intel Inside branding. At 185 grams, the Zenfone Zoom isn't light by any means, but that weight gives it a sturdy and substantial feel when held in the hand. It is also 5.5mm thick, and overall the Zenfone Zoom is designed well, and while some might not like its design, I think it looks quite unique, and Asus did a good job by opting for a unibody aluminium chassis. On the inside too, the Zenfone Zoom doesn't disappoint. We have a spec sheet very similar to the Zenfone 2 with some minor changes. The device is powered by a quad-core Intel chip which is clocked at 2.5 GHz coupled with 4 GB of RAM and a PowerVR G6430 GPU. We also have Bluetooth 4.0, Wi-Fi, NFC and 128 GB of built-in storage along with an extra 128 GB available via the microSD card. These specs translate into some very good benchmark scores and gaming performance. Games like Nova 3 run without any hiccups on the phone, and that 128 GB of built-in storage is going to let you store a host of apps and games. The phone can handle everyday tasks like a champ, and I did not see any major lags or slowdowns while I was using it as my daily driver. So while the hardware is more than capable of handling anything you throw at the Zenfone Zoom, it is the software where the Zenfone Zoom loses most of its marks. First of all, it still runs on Android 5.0 Lollipop, which, as far as I know, had a lot of bugs. Along with that, the Asus Zen UI is as bloated as before, with a host of Asus apps which most of us probably never use. There are a few add-ons like double tap to wake and sleep and the one-hand operation mode, but the Zen UI is more bloated than useful. In fact, more than 40% of my battery usage was dedicated to the OS itself, which is very disappointing. And if there is one thing that Asus needs to work on, it is their Zen UI. In spite of having 4 GB of RAM, I always had less than 1 GB of RAM free. And while the phone did not lag or stutter while multitasking, I personally feel that stock Android would have definitely done a great job with the Zenfone Zoom. Now coming to the ultimate selling point of this phone, the camera, the Zenfone Zoom sports a 13 megapixel sensor with a 10-element Hoya lens coupled with 3x optical zoom, OIS and laser autofocus. There is also a dual-tone LED flash and you have dedicated buttons for photo and video. The camera interface is actually very intuitive and easy to use. You have a lot of flexibility in terms of tweaking the image quality, as the Zenfone Zoom offers a wide range of image modes, including a full manual mode. You can also tweak things like saturation, contrast, etc. right from the camera settings. The video stabilization is capped at 720p, but even 1080p videos turn out to be good and smooth. The laser autofocus gets things into focus quickly during the daytime, and it's pretty fast in indoor lighting too. One thing which I noticed during the video shooting is that the phone is not going to autofocus on its own, but you have to touch to zoom, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The image quality during daylight is very good, especially the macro shots turn out to be very beautiful. You can get very close to an object, and that 3x optical zoom helps too. Low light is where the performance of the camera is average. The low light mode where the camera clicks 3 megapixel photos does help a little, but the quality is nowhere near the flagship smartphones, which are priced very similar to the Zenfone Zoom. Tweaking some settings in the manual mode is also helpful in taking a good picture. I did compare it with my Galaxy S6, and the S6 definitely wins hands down when it comes to image quality. But with that said, if the Zenfone Zoom gets priced reasonably within the mid-range Android smartphones, then the camera quality is justified on this device. The photos actually look better when you look at them on a monitor instead of the phone's display. The image quality might also get better if Asus improves the image processing on their software. So while the camera of the Zenfone Zoom is good, I don't think it's worth it when you can get phones like the Galaxy S6, Moto X Style or the Nexus 6P in a similar price range. In terms of display, we have a 5.5-inch 1080p LCD panel similar to one on the Zenfone 2. The display gets decently bright and the viewing angles are good too. One thing which I like about the Asus's display is the splendid software. It lets you tweak the display and adjust the colors to your personal preference, which is a very good thing to have. Images and videos look decent on the phone, and the mono speaker, though mounted on the back, produces a good sound while watching videos. This, coupled with the 128GB internal storage and external storage, makes the Zenfone Zoom a very good option for media consumption. One area where the Zenfone Zoom could have excelled but it couldn't is in the battery life. It packs in a 3000 mAh battery, which should provide some pretty good performance, but I could only manage to get around 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time on a mixed use of Wi-Fi and 3G. This is with the Android OS occupying 50% of the battery use, and if Asus gets their software right, the Zenfone Zoom is capable of a much better battery performance. You do get a few battery saving modes, and the Zenfone Zoom has fast charging, which charges the phone in less than 1.5 hours. I had no issues with the call quality, and the network reception was also good. Overall, while the Zenfone Zoom has a very good design, a powerful set of internals, and a decent camera, it is the software and the pricing of the Zenfone Zoom which would be a deal breaker for a lot of people. I am personally hesitant to recommend this phone at this price, but if it's available at a cheaper rate in your country, then you might opt for it. Until and unless Asus fixes the software or gives a price cut to the Zenfone in India, I don't think a lot of people would opt for it. So this wraps up my full review of the Asus Zenfone Zoom. If you liked this review, then do hit that like button below the video. Do let me know your views and questions about this phone in the comments. Please do subscribe for more upcoming reviews. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.